I have to say it's fantastic. The thing what makes this car so perfect. This is the perfect car in the Porsche lineup. Hello and welcome back to Assetto Up. Well, you've read the title. Today we have the Porsche GT3 Touring Edition. And without the huge wing on the back, does it still deserve to be a GT3? Well, without further ado, let me present to you the 2022 Porsche GT3 Touring. When we go for the Porsche 911 lineup, you can go from convertible cruisers, sport cars, all the way to track-focused race cars. But what if you wanted a car that you can take to the track, but you don't want a track-focused appearance on the car? Let me introduce to you the 2022 Porsche 911 GT3 Touring Edition. So this is it, the GT3 Touring Edition. And well, for me, I'm not the biggest Porsche expert, but I always was a bit confused with this lineup, as the GT3 is the real track-focused race car, and there are other, well, more cruise-style GT touring cars in the Porsche lineup. So why did they make a GT3 Touring? Well, to be honest, I think this is the perfect car in the Porsche lineup. It doesn't have the appearance of the track day or some race appearance. It is more, well, still Porsche, but it's more casual, if you know what I mean, without the huge wing on the back, but instead a retractable spoiler. Before I jump into the mod, let me just first tell you some difference between the GT3 and the GT3 Touring, which we are currently driving. So, first thing I mentioned already, the GT3 has a gooseneck style wing on the back, and now we only have a retractable spoiler. Spoiler pops up at 100 km per hour. Well, you can do it manually as well, but it's a cool feature and it looks more sleek when it's, well, down. Some other small differences: for example, the front bumper is painted on the GT3 Touring, and in the GT3 it's black with every color. The front bumper or part of the front bumper is just black, and with this one it's painted to the, well, the color of the car, of course. Then some other differences with the GT3 and the GT3 Touring is that with the GT3 you have a GT3 sign, or GT3 is written inside of the rim in the center, and with the Touring it is just the Porsche logo, which is a really small detail, but it's a pretty cool touch that is different as well. So those are small differences, of course, because it has the same engine, same suspension, the same double air intakes on the hood in front, which look really aggressive, but I actually really like the look of that. There's the same double centered exhaust in the back, which is all amazing looking and makes the difference between these cars even less. So now that's out of the way, let's just jump into the mod real quick. This mod is made by MNBA, and as usual it is a fantastic mod. All these small details once again are perfectly done. The car drives amazing, as how I expected it to be drive. Well, of course I haven't driven this car in real life, but what I've read, it's, well, it feels pretty similar actually. Then the other details for the car is, of course, you can open the left and the right door manually, which is a really cool touch always. You can open the hood in the front. Obviously you can't open the trunk in the back where the engine is, because you can't open it in real life anyway. In the center console we have a nice Android system, of course, as it is in real life, where you can open the map, Spotify, YouTube, etc. Whatever you would like to display there. Then in the center we have a beautiful cluster, which is just, well, gorgeous as always, and really nice detail to this car. Of course it's a manual transmission, so the animation for the hand animation with the gear shifter works obviously as how it's supposed to be. And some other small details which I really like as well is that when you turn, for example, the traction control off, on the center under the Android car system, actually the sport mode turns on and the traction control sign turns on as well. And with all these small little details makes just the feeling of the car and makes the whole experience just a lot more realistic. It's one of the things I always really love about this game, of course, and about these mods. Then of course, not to forget, the spoiler on the back is automatically retractable. You can do it manually as well, but it opens automatically above 100 kilometers per hour. Then Adrian Sai, thank you for that information. I know there's a lot of stuff in Assetto Corsa and Content Manager I'm not using, which I really should, but I literally don't have the time for it. And with this car, I found out how detailed these cars are in the paint shop as well. It's just amazing that you can do so much in the paint shop, and most of those things are as a real life as well. So if you go into the Porsche configurator, you actually can do the same stuff on the website of Porsche that you can do in Content Manager in the paint shop. So for example, I didn't like how a few things looked on the, well, this white one, the Porsche GT3 Touring, so I painted them different colors. I gave the seat belt a different color, I gave the center of the seats a different color, the classic one, and it's just, these are small details, just makes the car, well, even more beautiful. And you can just personalize these cars, which is just a fantastic feature on these mods and in the game, of course. And not to forget, of course, let's just jump into the stats of the car and the specifications of this car real quick. This car has a naturally aspirated 4-liter flat six, pushing out 502 brake horsepower and 552 Newton meters of torque. The car weighs approximately 1,435 kilos. These are all stats how they are in real life and in the mod as well. The car goes from 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds, or 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 3.2 seconds, sorry. And top speed is around 320 kilometers per hour. Then this car, well, I have to say, it's fantastic. The mod is fantastic, the car is fantastic. I really understand this car, why you would get this instead of a GT3 with the giant spoiler on, giant wing on the back, sorry, as this feels a bit more normal, it looks a bit more normal. I think you need to know a bit more about Porsche if you just see driving around, because most people will probably think it's just a normal Porsche driving around, and that's the thing what makes this car so perfect, I have to say. The car drives amazing, this mod is amazing, definitely check it out, it's free. I will post the link from their Patreon in the description down below. If you'd like to see some other videos, sure, check them out, I will post them on this video as well. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!